Well, there is no better place to screen a movie that covers this very important thematic than in an open environment and on an island that we are right now. So this was the main reason why we chose it. We have the river, we have the sea, we have everything green around us. So that is the main reason. But also Cinema Green and Cinema Film Festival uses open spaces to screen movies. So this is the format. And we invested ourselves into bringing people here from the city at Ada Bojana. We also had an interesting day yesterday. For example, some of the speakers of Green Culture Montenegro were in the city. We had a screening of Before the Flood, documentary featuring Leonardo DiCaprio, made possible by National Geographic at the Cultural Center, and we had over 500 young people attending. So it's very important to educate younger generations. And this is why we're doing what we're doing. We're combining cinema with activism, and we're calling it cinema activism.
Every day we pollute our planet with 110 million tons of greenhouse gases. 110 million. This is a huge number.
So what do projections say if we continue like this? What is going to happen to us?
If we continue like this, I would say that in the next 50 years, this place where we sit now will be covered by the sea. So this is very simple to translate the projection to facts. So we really have to think about how we can mitigate this 110 million tons of greenhouse gas emission, which is equivalent to 400,000 nuclear bombs like the Hiroshima bomb. That is the energy that we also put into the system every day. So these are big numbers, but the good news is that we have the solution. We have the renewable energy instead of fossil fuels. The good news is that we have the Paris Agreement, which is a global agreement that we, countries of the planet, we decided to go to zero carbon emission as soon as possible by the second half of this century. I would say that this is very promising, but unfortunately at the moment what we can see from countries in the European Union, from countries in the Western Balkans, the measures are not hard enough. So we really have to reconsider our plans for the future. Also in the European Union, but mainly in the Western Balkans, we know that coal has a major role, and we also know that coal is at the moment the #1 enemy of our atmosphere. So we also know that we can close these coal mines, we can close these coal power plants on a way that we provide a just transition for the communities, for the workers who are under threat that they will lose their jobs, and we support those families, and we provide support to those communities, and we help them to transform their life, their jobs, into something which is maybe connected to renewable energy. Then we can win this battle, and we can change our life.
What can I do as a citizen of the world, of this global village, to improve, to mitigate that what may come 50 years later to us?
So energy efficiency, or saving energy. These are the most evident ways. But I think we are citizens, so we have the right every 4 years to go and vote for our politicians. And we have to challenge them. We have to ask them, okay, we know that you have plans for social security, you have plans for energy security, but what about renewables? What about climate change? What about sustainable development? Because obviously this is a bigger picture. I consider that climate change is the biggest threat at the moment on our future. So if we do it and if we do it consequently, we always ask our politicians, okay guys, what do you think about climate change? How we can solve this problem? Then after a while they will have to modify their messages, and they have to modify the way they behave, they make decisions. So it is our responsibility, of course, that we challenge them. But
so are you saying, in other words, that we have to be conservative in the way that we use energy, meaning that we should use energy only as much as we need it in terms of saving, and we need to insulate our houses, and we need to take care of the environment?
Absolutely, yes. So, I mean, in Central Europe, in Central Eastern Europe, in Southeast Europe, this is a big issue that our buildings, our homes were not insulated properly. Our energy systems are usually outdated. Our attitude and behavior, unfortunately, is not up to the 21st century. So we have to reconsider our lifestyle. We have to reconsider the way how we consume. But it's not only connected to the energy, but it's connected to the food that we eat. Because we know also that there is a consequence on the food that we eat. So it's a very complex issue, and we as individuals we can contribute on many ways. Obviously, the most important issue is connected to the energy, how we use it, but our lifestyle, if we change it on a proper way, then it can contribute to the solution as well.
We are saying, the message that we're conveying is that yes, we know all the problems that we have, but we also have to be aware of the future. So this is, and we're part of the world. So, and it affects all of us everywhere, anywhere we are.
How do you think we are learning from each other, and are we being able to capture what's happening regionally, internationally, and how can we kind of practice that in our everyday life, but also when we talk with our government officials?
I think the most important issue that there is life beyond coal, there is life beyond fossil fuels. So, and I think that life is brilliant. If you just consider that a country like Kosovo, a country like Montenegro could be turned into a future from the black to green. Imagine that you have an opportunity for ecotourism, that you attract Western Europeans or anybody from the planet to visit your country and to share the environmental values, to show the environmental values what you have, the nature. I think this is the best available option for all the countries when we think about how to shift from black to green.
We do welcome partnerships with organizations that consider environmental sustainability a cornerstone for creative industries, and that is also something that we have to have in mind.
I would say that in countries like Montenegro, in countries like Kosovo and other Central and Eastern European, Southeast European countries, it is possible. If you can see solar panels on German houses in the north, how easy to use those energy here in the south.
It's not easy? Yeah, definitely. Well, are you saying that it may be costly immediately, but in the long run pays off? Pays off for the environment, pays off for the cost, or is that not the subject?
Just today we had a presentation about the cost of the health. So if you consider the air pollution and if you consider the number of premature deaths, the cost of hospitalization because of dirty air, then if you start to add this amount on the top of the energy bill, because that is a cost, a real cost. It's not just a fake one, not just a mystery one. And you calculate it and you compare it with the cost of the investment to renewables, you will see that either renewable is cheaper or maybe it's the same. But if you take into consideration the lifestyle, the value of your life, the value of your community, what you can gain with this decision,
that beats that.
I mean, why on earth we still use fossil fuels?
I am also looking forward to the development of our platform. We will certainly continue working with the young people, especially. And we also tackle other subjects, but environmental protection is our focus as well. So thank you for the interview and for spreading our message to your viewers.